Languages through music. Languages through music. Languages through music. Languages through music. Welcome to the Languages Through Music podcast, and today I have a very special guest in the shape of Kru Pimmi, my beloved Thai teacher. Welcome to the Languages Through Music podcast, Kru Pimmi Naka.
Thank you, Desta. Hello, and it's a pleasure. Thank you, Desta, for having me.
It's so nice to see you, even though you're far away in Buriram. But
yes.
we're together, a month ago in Bangkok?
Yes, just over a month.
Yeah, just over. And we saw a wonderful gig together at Studio Lam. We saw Paradise Bangkok, which is a Molam band and just superstars. So today I'm going to be asking you a bit about the music you like, about how you got into teaching, and all of that. So to start with, when did you know you wanted to become a teacher?
Good question. Desta, I think I got this feeling since a very young age. Because I remember when we were kids, no, and back in that day, like there was no internet. So what do? We as a kid, so we play with trees. We play with all of those things in Isan, Buriram, and then I was pretend to be a teacher. Then all of those trees would be my students. So that was probably when I was like 7 or 8 years old. Yeah, I was really, really young.
Wow, you gave me a flashback to me lining up my teddy bears in my room and teaching them to. That's really funny. I forgot about that. And also, when I was looking after or playing with kids that were younger than me, I'd always pick up a book before I could read, and they didn't know I couldn't read. So I would just pretend to read to them, just flip the pages, and I had no idea what was going on, but I would make it up. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so it was in you.
Yeah, we know early what we want to do. And then when did you teach your first class? Did you start with teaching Thai? Did you teach something else before?
This one wasn't Thai actually, because I've got 2 nieces. Because I remember when they were about, I don't know, maybe about 10 or 11. And then, in Thailand, kids got lots of homework.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they asked me, okay, auntie, can you teach me this? Or it was happened to be English.
Okay.
And I have always been into English. I don't know why. It just, I found it is a lot easier than Thai, my native language. Yeah.
No joke, because I had baptism by fire of the Thai alphabet this summer, and yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, definitely. So that was when I actually got into teaching for real.
Okay.
For real, I got to use my knowledge a little bit. And then when I was in the UK, I I wanted to quit a job. I was full-time, but I didn't like it at all. Then I knew that I loved teaching. And then I volunteered myself in a primary school in the UK. And because of the fact that I also love kids.
Yeah.
Then, it's all started officially. And I was fully not teaching, but at the time I was a teaching assistant. But anyway, it was still in the classroom with all of those teaching environments, and then I got to teach Thai fully just before COVID. So that was actually when I started for real teaching Thai to foreigners.
Okay. And what was your experience like learning English? How old were you when you started, and did your teacher ever use English music, or did you find English music yourself and learn with that? Did music play any role at all in helping you learn English?
That was quite long time. I think I was 10 Back at the time, 10 or 11. I started quite late because, I mean, like nowadays, the kids in Thailand, they start quite early. Like 3 or 4 years old, they already start to learn English. But I started when I was 11. At that time, my teacher did not use any music at all. We learned English Thai way. So we went through all of those, like like grammar, structure, pronouns, basic stuff. But then I got into English music by myself because I was really into English. I think maybe because it was the second language of me, and then I found music. But I remember the first band, probably like Backstreet Boy, like very pop. I don't know if you know this band, like American pop band.
Yeah.
So Backstreet Boy, and then got to a little bit like Britney Spears, things like that, like pop in general, basically, because I lived in a remote area as well, so I did not have a chance to explore more of the alternative, like or different types of English music. So that was when I started to kind of combine learning English and learning English through music. I remember when I get to listen to Backstreet Boy, I think there was a lyrics, I want it that way. Then I was like, oh, in Thai we have ao and yak. Both of them means to want. But in English you have the word to want, only one want. Then I get to see a little bit of the English grammar structure, which is different from Thai. Then I kind of realized that, okay, at first I thought English was quite like durable, easy kind of, but then I was like, no, this is actually not there. In terms of grammar, it's quite different from Thai. So that was it.
That's true. I guess for the mountain that Thai alphabet and pronunciation is, it does ease up a little in terms of like the simple grammar forms. That's true. That's true. I'm glad you brought it up though, because so many people go, how can you learn grammar through music? And it's like, of course you can learn grammar.
Of course you can. Of course, always.
You're talking, like grammar is the glue, holds it all together. So, interesting. So were you, since you were living in a remote area, was there much live music that you could go to growing up, or was going to gigs something that happened later when you went more to Bangkok or when you moved to London? When did you start going to gigs?
In terms of gigs, I think when I started uni in Bangkok. So basically, like, Bangkok is really diverse. There are so many music venues, there are so many festival gigs and all of those. So I got to explore. But in my area, there were gigs, but it's more like traditional Isan or Molam music. So it is not exactly like Thai pop music. Is the gigs that we call molam, no, like traditional Isan, and we use those music like for ceremonies, for welcoming a new home, or for a Buddhist ceremony, things like that. So they would play molam music, which is really beautiful. It's really fascinating, and the rhythm of the music. That's why the Molam International Paradise Bangkok is from those kind of music.
I love that gig. And remind me the name of those two instruments. There's the pin, that guitar.
Pin, pin, that one, and with this one is can.
Can looks so impossible to play because you can't even see what you're playing, really, because the strings above you, it's like you have to be in a deep meditative state to make it happen. It's so beautiful. So after uni in Kru Pimmi, you moved to London?
Yep, exactly. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It just cut.
Okay, perfect. So after uni, then I graduated, then I moved to the UK. Yeah, exactly. So that was when I explored like the world of English completely. That was interesting. Since beginning when I stepped into the airport, totally new world.
like, what is going on here?
Mhm.
What is this slang? What's happening? And even within London, you get varieties, and even like
Mm.
up north, you go up north. Sometimes when I used to visit my mom's family in York, it would take me days to start to understand what people were saying because it's just so different. And the way it's taught outside, I feel is so formal. I remember one day
Mm.
I was with my mom. We were walking somewhere near Talat Noi around that
ค่ะ
area. We went to
Mhm.
some jewelry store, and this lady at the jeweler, she's like, your English, can you check my English homework for me? And I was like, well, yeah, of course. And so she, and it was like this Shakespearean,
Mm.
super formal, super difficult English. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, is this what people are learning? Because I'd be so shocked, or even turn on, any radio, or yeah. So once you were in London, you started going out to different music venues. You started getting into more eclectic music, I assume.
Definitely, definitely. I remember the first one was I think was in Liverpool Street. I don't
Yeah.
remember exactly what was the name and then what was the artist. Then I went around like what's it called, that area, like Hackney Week, that
Yeah, yeah.
area, and in Brixton, that area. I remember the indie band came from America. Then I took Carlos as well. Yeah, so I got to explore like many types of music, and I was super excited. It was like, wow. Okay, I mean, like when I was in Bangkok, they were quite like exciting things as well. But in London, it's just totally different level, I would say.
Right, yeah. As much as what was the Thai verb for complain? Bun.
Bon.
As much as I bun about London these days, I
Mhm.
cannot bun about how eclectic and
Yes.
diverse, wonderful the
Mhm.
music and art scene here. That's for sure.
Yep.
So how long were you in London?
Oh, nearly 12 years.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
a long time.
So did you start, because Spanish is your third language, right? So did you
Mhm.
start Spanish lessons before you moved to Spain, or did you start when you got to Spain?
Good question, Nesta ครับ I I did not know anything about Spanish at
Okay.
all. But then I was like, okay, Carlos, teach me something because we were about to move. Then I I kind of knew that the Spanish people don't actually speak English. And I
Mhm.
would say, okay, in order to survive, let's kind of explore some few phrases, some questions in our daily life, blah blah. So then Carlos said, you know what? Just learn hola, gracias, blah blah for now, and then you learn at school. Because then the plan
Okay.
was that I was about to enroll in a language school, which is like very immersive. There was no English at all. That was a plan that we had, and then I mean he was a little bit lazy to teach as well. Then I was like, okay, you know what? So I went to the bookstore and then I got a book called Easy Spanish. I think I don't remember well. That's
I
that. So
never trust books or language programs that have easy in the title. I
yeah.
remember going like easy Tigrinya, easy Dutch,
uh,
and I always feel that's a trap.
yes, that's I think so.
Ding. It's a trap.
Yeah. So I got the book and then I started to be there's a gender, and I was like, never heard about gender nouns before. In Thai,
Yes.
we just have nam, water. Is it nam? It's not male or females, and table la mesa, like is a
Chai.
female. That's like, so I got so shocked and I was like, no, 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 no. You know what? I needed to start Spanish before we travel.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went through the book. Okay, the noun gender, the conjugation of the verbs, because in Thai does not exist. In English,
Yeah.
you have okay, like go, went, gone. So it's kind of okay, durable. It takes
Yeah.
time to practice in English, but in Spanish, it's just another level. Depends
Yeah.
on the pronouns, depend on is the past tense or future tense, and I was like, no way, how I am going to survive?
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's a killer. So what did you do?
so I just in Thai we just say ปล่อยไป like let it go. Okay, let's go with the flow. So I did a little bit of self-study. So I did a little bit of self-study Spanish in that book. I did lots of exercises, and then I tried to get the gist of the Spanish itself. Okay, there's a gender, things like that. That was a difference between Spanish and English, and was a difference between Spanish, Thai, and English. So I kind of learned a little bit of those to prepare myself, and then I learned the alphabets. Luckily, there's no many sounds compared to Thai. Thai we have the
That is the most
yes.
hectic alphabet I've ever tried in my life. So yeah, Spanish alphabet. Whew.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, there's only A, E, I, O, U. So I kind of, okay, I do not need to learn how to read it.
28 Thai vowels, correct?
Yes.
That's still think about that, and I'm like, did I imagine that? Surely it can't be.
28 in use, 4 already obsolete. So yeah, so I kind of okay, there are some easy part in Spanish too.
Yeah.
Then once we got to Spain, and then I took just 1 week just to prepare myself, and then actually 2 weeks. Then I explore a little bit more on YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, what are the basic, the month number? So I kind of just lay my basic foundation by myself those 2 weeks. Yeah. And then I went to the school, and it's just totally immersive. So basically from the first day, from when I arrived at the reception, it was all in Spanish.
Great.
And I did intensive 3 hours per day, so 15 hours per week. Oh, so it was nice. It was different because I think I've never ever done immersive before. That's why it was totally. But at the end, I think after 3 weeks, I got really, really too tired. I'm not too tired about the language, but too tired to do intensive. And then I think I got to the part where I did not understand the grammar because the immersive that also the teacher did not understand or even try to explain. They didn't even try to explain a little bit in English for me to understand, because I was the only one who actually started 2 weeks before. The other students in the class, they were like 1 year already minimum.
Oh, okay.
So I think I got overwhelmed, and then I got too tired of not being understand fully. And then Carlos also he was trying to help me, but then at the end it works. It works. And then I remember Carlos' family came after 1 month, so my course finished, and then I was able to explain things and then speak to Carlos' parents, and then they was a little bit like, oh wow, just 1 month. Wow, but obviously but that's in terms of grammar, obviously, because I did not understand Spanish grammar fully. So I think I got the fluency, but I did not get I did not actually understand things like perfectly well as well. But after that, life gets a little bit busier, and then I did not have much time to learn and to practice.
But I feel it's the communication and the fluency. I feel that's the most important. We always have little things to tweak and improve. I met a French teacher the other day, and I was like just kind of toying with the idea of doing a kind of tune-up for my French. Like, it's my second language, but it's been since school that I haven't read any proper like French literature or done any, I feel that my French could do with knowing a bit more kind of phrases that are used in, I don't know, slang I know, but in terms of kind of more poetic literature or anyway. So I was just chatting with this French teacher, and she's like, well, you're far too advanced for any classes, that I run here. But sometimes your gender, she's like, masculine, feminine are all over the place. She's like, how did you get such great French, but not like, have all your gender? I'm just like, gender is ridiculous. Gender is a myth. Also, like, sometimes it doesn't agree in other languages. So sometimes I just think, okay, oh gosh, what's the gender of that? And I just guess. And then, yeah, if you guess wrong, it's not only that word that's wrong, but it's everything else that comes after
Yeah,
that's wrong.
exactly.
So, we all have things we could improve, so we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm still struggling with these 28 Thai vowels. So
That's so you can do it.
Jing Jing. Oh, I hope so. Cham Payayam Jing Jing. I won't give up
ค่ะ
until all 28 memorized.
ดีมาก
But now you have Pasa Ankrit, Pasa Spain. If you could learn any other languages, which languages would you like to learn?
Oh, there are so many languages that I would like to learn, but I think the top two probably, and I have tried already to learn these two. So they are Japanese and Arabic. They are so difficult for me as a native Thai speaker, and and I found it's because I love Arabic music, even though I don't understand anything at all, but I found it's just there's something that really fascinated me in Arabic. I don't know, maybe the sounds or anything, whatever, but yeah, I would love to learn Arabic because I know is one of the most difficult languages to learn as well. Arabic and Japanese. Japanese because I'm so in love with Japanese people, the food, the culture, the Japanese way itself. For me, I found it. Everything is art in Japanese. The alphabet, the people.
It's true. And
Yes.
where my mom lives in Bangkok, it's a big Japanese community around there. Actually, her whole building are Japanese. All her neighbors are Japanese. So yeah, that would be great, I guess, to have a few Japanese phrases I could surprise Kunme's neighbors with.
Yes.
It was hard. I tried to remember a few because I took a few Japanese lessons back in the day with a teacher. Because the biggest Japanese community outside Japan is in Brazil, and so it's a huge community. So I had a teacher there, but I've forgotten everything. So what I'm thinking of doing for the languages through music ebooks we put together is having kind of like a 1-month deep dive on each ebook. So I want to start with Spanish and French and Portuguese to do like 30 minutes a day on Zoom. The hardcore people can join live. Otherwise, I'll send out our recordings, and then we'll do the same with Japanese and Arabic and Pasa Thai. That would be awesome.
That would be amazing. That's definitely.
Okay. I need to tune up my Pasa Thai before I go back, and I need to start writing as well and reading more. But before we wrap up for today, I wanted to ask you one more question, because when we met in our little bar on Soy 51, WTF, I read your beautiful tattoo, and you mentioned that it was a quote by a man who'd done a lot of study into the Thai language and culture. And if you would just refresh my memory, remind me of because you said he contributed to Thai history and the study of Thai language, and if you could just give a couple points that you'd like to share on this super interesting sounding intellectual.
ได้ค่ะ sure. So basically this tattoo it has really deep but beautiful meaning in terms of the meaning itself, and it's also connected to our religions, Buddhist. I thought it's really deep meaning, but in terms of linguistic, ภาษาไทย, so the Thai language itself as well, is also had two big grammar points here. So my tattoo is say อย่าอยู่อย่างอยาก. That's in Thai. So it's all four words, 4 syllables, and it's all got a low tone, low tone in Thai. So let's talk about the meaning just very quickly. So the meaning itself basically is mean like do not leave like wanting, or on the other hand, do not live greedily or live simple life, basically. So I love the meanings, and it's connected to the religions itself. And also with the guy called Jit Pumisak. He was really, really big in Thai history before because he wrote a few books about Thai history, about the Thai culture itself, where Thai people actually from. But it was kind of like controversial because back at the time, the Thai history actually has I would say is also like the government itself as well that actually try to make us believe that this is this. But this guy, he's kind of like he really wrote the fact. So that's why it was like big controversial about this and about
diverse than the government
exactly. Exactly. So he was really, really big, and because he wrote the book about where the Thai people actually from, and then because I'm from Isan, back in the history we have really, really long history before Sukhothai, Ayutthaya, and Krungthep. Right, we had Thawaravadi. Thawaravadi is, back in the old day, so like prehistory basically. But Isan was there prehistory. So the guy wrote the book about that as well, and about Thai people and the language. So, but the font itself is actually from his handwriting. Basically. So I kind of my tattoo like combine the language, the culture, the religions, and the story behind, all together basically.
Beautiful. It would be wonderful to have, I don't know if there's any English translation, but if you could share any links to his work, that would be awesome to check out, because
sure.
Yeah, it's so important. I mean, that's what I loved with classes with you as well. It wasn't just about conversation and language, it's about culture and art and history, and that's the best way to learn, I feel.
Yeah, I believe that language and culture is just hand in hand.
Absolutely, I agree. So ขอบคุณมากค่ะ Kru Pimmi นะคะ
ขอบคุณค่ะ Desta. Thank you so much for having me.
It's been so wonderful having you here. Thank you so much, and I will be seeing you very soon, hopefully in Bangkok.
ที่กรุงเทพ
We're heading out to another live music gig together and speaking in ภาษาไทย
ใช่ค่ะ all in Thai ใช่
It was only for the podcast that I slipped into English, but I never really speak English with Kru Pimmi.
Never. That's not like this is the first time, no?
ใช่จริงๆ Thank you so much, my dear.
Thank you, Desta.
See you soon.
ได้ค่ะ see you.
Languages to music.